DEFCON, possibly two right now. It's coming. It's coming. This is the one. Everybody, last night I told you it's the end of the world. Get right. Nobody cared except for the few. This is true. This is happening. There's nothing you can do. You sit back and say that I'm not right. You sit there and say, "Oh, we've heard this 23,000 times." Good. That's good. I get it. I get where you're at. I understand what you're saying. But the problem you have is the reality on the ground. The reality on the ground is this is World War III actual. What happens in the next few days will determine the absolute future of this entire planet. Meanwhile, you have troops moving into New York or wherever. See, I'm gonna see troops moving to Chicago, right? Let's do ICE, or no, say just troops, chief deployments. So let's see where they're at. I think they're Chicago. So here it is: how Chicago, Baltimore, New Orleans are reacting to Trump's National Guard. They're trying to get it. They're trying to get these National Guardsmen into these areas. Everybody's got to pay attention to what's happening. Stopping the violence has never been on the agenda. It's never fixed anything. These people have been killing each other for decades. It's been happening in California: gangs, drugs, wars, because of all poverty and desperation. But the realization of this whole thing is they're moving troops into our major cities. And the reason why you get China, Russia, and North Korea. North Korea's lost thousands of soldiers. Russia's lost maybe 1 million. You got China in the middle of this, knowing now that the U.S. is completely after them, which we all knew this. This is the great big Lebowski, the big Lebowski. This is it. This is what they've been after, and nobody cares. The reason why is because there's too much going on in the world. It's all about the troops moving. It's all about ICE. It's all about this. When reality is the U.S. off the coast of Venezuela, we're already talking about attacking Venezuela for their gold and their resources. But you got to remember, Russia landed some bombers there repeatedly, and there was rumor of the fact that they may have been dropping off nuclear weapons into Venezuela to hit the United States. And that puts nukes at our doorstep, just like we've been doing to Russia. So it's the same thing, tit for tat. But this is the end of this. BRICS is now going forward. The game's on. The U.S. and NATO and the fiat currency have to fight for the right to stay in charge. And the problem we have is most of the population is in BRICS. Most of the population is for BRICS. The U.S. has finally done enough that this game is over. The economy's already crashed. Gold through the roof, silver through the roof. They can go to digital currency and try to save this, but realization is war. That's why Trump today changed it to the War Department, back to what it was during World War II. This is all factual. This is not fiction. This is not a game. This is not a lie. This isn't speculation. And this is not a conspiracy theory. These are the facts on the ground, okay? Where is their closest ally, has the most resources? Venezuela. They go after Brazil, but Brazil, they've already done enough in Brazil. They've already done enough to Russia. They've already known they pushed Russia to the end. Russia has no choice. Russia keeps saying we'll meet with Zelensky. Zelensky's not meeting with Russia. Even if they meet to this day, it's not going to save the fiat currency domination. Now, if you go back to the 1980s and you look up the war scenario for nuclear war scenario 1980, it's a 4-part series I found on YouTube. What would bring about nuclear first strike by the United States would be loss of the oil dollar. It's not me saying it. This was a scenario done by the War Department or the Defense Department, another branch of the government. That during the 80s, they did a mock scenario of a nuclear war, what would cause it. One of the big things by the experts in the 80s, the oil currency. If it's gone. Now, that's the fiat currency. This is the world currency, which is the U.S. dollar. This is the war for domination. You are in world war domination. Now, we've been in this for a long time. They keep crossing red lines, keep crossing red lines. When will Russia nuke us? That is the question. It's not if they'll nuke us. When are they going to do their first strike? Now, I got news for Vlad and Xi Jinping and Kim Jong-un. The United States may do its first strike. Now, will it be a full-scale nuclear holocaust? More than likely, they'll try a decapitation on Russia. They've been beating Russia up for months, years now. They've got them weakened to the point where they want them. Now they could do a decapitation strike on Moscow. Everybody's thinking about that, but first they got to take out Maduro, get the Venezuelan oil, get the Venezuelan gold. It's bigger than Saudi Arabia. They know that Venezuela has it. I can't believe that the do-gooders in this world don't realize that Trump is after the oil. That's what he's after, the oil and the gold. That's what Biden's been after. That's what Obama was after. They've been destabilizing Venezuela. Trump admitted in an interview that when I left office, Venezuela is about ready to collapse. They did this to Venezuela. So all you Venezuelans that come up here to reap the resources of America and take jobs, you got to realize something. Your country It should never have been in the situation it is due to blockades. That's what caused World War II. You're allied with Russia. You have all the resources. You came to a non-resource country. They lock it up under environmental bullshit. Sorry for my French. And realization is you hold the oil's wealth. The new Saudi Arabia, Persian Gulf is Venezuela. Admitted. Now, where are we? I'll tell you where we're at. We've been at World War III, but this is the end of this thing. This is where it comes down to either BRICS has to fold, have to give it up. BRICS has to have something so cataclysmic. Turkey gets another earthquake or two, still believing in that Turkey, that they don't have a weapon for that. Same with Russia over Kamchatka when they knocked out the Russian, part of the Russia's, their submarine fleet. Still, I think not. I think the evidence of when Turkey was bucking the system with Erdogan over Syria being conquered and stolen and dominated, they got that one under their belt. They went ahead now and did Russia just the other day, but people forget because attention spans 2.5 seconds in this world. They're able to bomb with a weapon. They destroyed the damn piers that the Russian submarines use. That was a message to Russia. Trump was threatening them, and it happened. I don't think it was nothing to do with that. Okay. So now Russia knows the U.S. possibly has a earthquake weapon. Well, that should piss Turkey off now, shouldn't it, with 40,000 dead? Wonder why it doesn't. Turkey, yeah. Hey, good to see you, Karen. Good to see you, Rodney. We're going to be running through this. I'm going to the mountain hunting tonight. Anyway, so National Guard and ICE go out of Chicago. Okay, Chicago. New York. Escape from New York. Chicago, Illinois. This seems like to me a big distraction. I get it. I think that he's going out getting rid of foreign nationals. It may not be what we see on the surface because they're not going to come out and tell you they're rounding up operatives inside the United States that Biden, the turncoat, did on purpose, along with these other turncoats that have sovereignty and they have allegiance to other countries. They admit it, Omar and the rest of them. Who are they actually going to bring in the enemy? Yes, they don't like the American way, and neither do I. Most of it's a big scam, a lie. But they brought in all the operatives, and now they're probably rounding them up too. It's not just for the illegal alien criminals. It's more than likely rounding up operatives that are out there right now inside of our borders. There's much more going on. Now, what would they do this for? Because they're trying to save the markets. They have to save the markets. It's not about you or me or Bob or Frank or Jill or anybody else. It's about the investor class. It's about all the massive money that's here. These crooks and criminals are doing. And also, everybody's experiencing massive inflation, massive power increases, massive insurance increases, massive food prices. And nobody cares. They're out there protesting ICE in the streets of Chicago. That isn't right. In a real world scenario, this would not be happening. They wouldn't be protesting ICE. They'd be protesting higher prices and inflation and the lie that the bureaucrat, Democrat, Republican partisans that work with the globalist banksters, we should have already been marching in the streets like they're doing in other countries. But they won't. The American people won't. Why? Because they're too dumbed down. Just saying. So that's the big deal. Oh, I don't want to go on Facebook. We're at the brink of war. Should have already been at war. Because Russia, God bless them, but I don't know what the hell you're doing, bro. And I'm the guy on the receiving end. You know dang well, every day, every minute, Zelensky's getting closer to knocking you right off the face of the planet. All it's going to take is U.S. weapons or these new weapons, these new long-range missiles Zelensky has. Sorry. Major allergy pain today. It's going to take Zelensky just going in and hitting Putin. It's just about over for Vlad. It's just about over for Xi, and Xi's probably full of crap anyways. I don't know. Xi could be working with the Americans and with NATO and pretending to be friends with Russia. Yeah, the world's gonna end. Banana Republic. It's already ending. This is the end of a dying race, a dying species known as the humans that didn't realize what was happening, but it's all foretold anyways. This is where your grandpa, some of you people, maybe it's your great grandpas, would have been slapping you silly saying, we've been warning, you had 4 years of lies. They seriously drug this up. They would have told you all that we're all going to die a long time ago. It's just the death throes as we're going farther and farther down the lie, the rabbit hole. Maybe they'll find out Vladimir Putin is a body double. I mean, I'm just putting scenarios out there. Maybe they'll find out that they replaced him a long time ago along with his DNA, and he's not the same guy he was. And maybe Dmitry Medvedev will get in there and become the president. Maybe Putin will find a window that they might fall out of on accident looking to go to pee in the middle of the night. And then you got Dmitry in there. That may be planned, and he's gonna nuke everybody. He's not gonna play around. What's happening with Vlad? The only reason why I say they're holding this together is because of Vladimir Putin and his patience. I would say the patience that Vlad has it's not real. It can't be real. Under threat, even their constitution says they should go. He has the full power over everybody. You seen how that worked during this conflict. He has full power over everybody. Vlad went ahead and just took over everything, so he can hold back on the nuclear war until he gets his pound of flesh. You either got the choice: either AI is going to destroy you, or you got nuclear war, or you got the Atlas, 3i Atlas, or you got another comet or the fire and that's going to rain down upon the earth. Either way, there's too many things happening for this to continue any longer. There's no way out. You can't wiggle your way out as a I'm an enthusiast, I'm an optimist. You can't wiggle your way out of 50% of the population owning no wealth. My grandkids are playing. There's no other option. The wiggle room's gone. It's not there. Somebody has to lose. This has been brewing and brewing. Mm-hmm. I didn't ever see Star Trek. I'm a Battlestar Galactica fan. Why are people so worried? If the world is going to end, why are people so worried? The reason why they're not worried, that's the general consensus. They're not worried. People are worried about ICE agents taking illegal immigrants that have their jobs. I listen to all these podcasts, and they go through all these millions of Americans screaming about they have no more work, there's no more jobs, they got ghost jobs. And then there's immigrants in full of trucks going around building the houses for the rich. You got immigrants going and working in all your factories. You got immigrants driving all your semis. All those jobs are gone due to immigration. And Americans are like, oh my gosh, I can't take this anymore. Well, the good jobs of trucking are gone. Majority of it's ran by immigrants, H-1B visas. Americans don't have the sense God gave a goose. Neither does the Europeans. They're gone. You're out there peeing, Europeans. You're not paying attention to what's happening. Probably the AI 100% surveillance world, and we're already in that. And they've admitted recently, they watch everything we do. Your phone is a spy, and it's watching your every move. Even when you're pooping on the toilet, it's watching and listening. It knows where your eyes are. I have cameras in my work truck that watch my eyes, that monitor my movement. I'm under 24/7 surveillance on my job, driving a truck. Yeah. Trump did a 360 on them. The reason why Trump did a 360 because Biden would never be able to get the war done. They want Trump in there for the war. And who even knows? I mean, shot in the ear, these weird looking alien people are doing mass shootings. All of them look freaky weird. The guy that tried to kill Trump, the guy that tried to kill Trump again. I would kind of say that this might all just be one big Ponzi scheme, one facade, one special operation ran on the entire planet. And I would probably come out with a 70 to 80% AI probability that this is all a show. Everything from the attempted assassinations, everything from Biden's administration doing what they did, everything from the banksters spending too much money, called the repo market 2019, where the banks couldn't open their doors. They'd already loaned out too much money. Here comes a virus. All of this could fall in that same line. The world is a stage, Rodney. And then here, Trump administration cleans house at DOJ as career officials clash with immigration agents. There's no reason why immigrants should be coming in taking American jobs when there is not enough American jobs. There's not. It's a simple numbers game. Everybody pissed off about there's no jobs. The workers have the upper hand when there's more jobs and less workers. But when COVID happened, The Democrats came out and said, you are not going back to work for the wage we want you back. They opened the floodgates. So people say, you're anti-immigrant. Yes, I'm anti, when a union says, give me more money, our employees want more money, they can't survive, and the unions go on strike, the scabs, the corporations brought in the scabs to destroy the unions. Immigration's the exact same thing. Your semis that move your food and all your stuff all night long, most of them are being driven by migrant workers, H-1B visas. All those jobs should be American jobs. All those jobs are American jobs. The math doesn't math when you say immigrants help. They are not helping. They are doing the jobs for less that you should be doing. Guy loses a job in a factory, should be able to go get a CDL, and they should be advertising $5,000 sign-ons, but they're not, because they have H-1B visa holders that will come here, brought in by Trump, and they'll take that job for less. They'll pee in a box. They'll poop out the bottom of the semi. They do not care. Anybody that's for immigration, you are the problem for those that can't get a job. It's just numbers. It's called resources. Jobs are resources. When you have too many people competing for that resource, you have a problem, which we're experiencing now. Low wage, bad health care. This is what caused no jobs. This is what's caused by bringing people in. Not enough housing. It's a math equation. 50 to 20 million people come in. You got to have that many homes. Can't buy a used car. Well, you have 50 to 20 million people competing for the same vehicles, not to mention more legal. Well, legal immigration has been over 50 million since 2019. So you're competing with 50 million people for the same used car. Banks don't drop their rates. Car dealers don't give you a better price. Nothing's going to get better until you stop the demand. And the way to stop the demand with the dying population known as the American citizens is to kick out the immigrants. That is facts, not your fiction. That is facts. And it's just simple discovery. Too many dollars chasing too many goods in the hands of too many people. The rich ain't giving up that. They're giving up 73% of all the resources. They're not giving it up. They demand more profit for every corporation. This is how they work. It's not going to change. And until you put the screws to these guys and say, we shut the border off, kicked out 50 million people back in their home countries, now what you going to do with the American workers? You will see this country change overnight. When there is no more jobs, no more immigrants driving cars, no more immigrants driving your semis, you'll be able to get your CDL. If you can see and hear and are physically capable, you will have a job driving for $200,000 a year. And they'll say, well, that'll inflate the price of goods. No, it won't. The investors have to lose their profits. They are keeping the profits going. They will not stop. If they don't, that's against their policies and they're in trouble. So it said, and if they did, they wouldn't want to pay those jobs produced. They don't pay a fair wage because they have scabs that come in a union protest, which is the American people saying, we're not making enough money. Rent's too high. You take out 50 million people that came through that border, they're getting legalized every day. They're all getting legalized. They're legalizing 3-4 million people. You're not talking 400,000 people, which would be fair, or 4,000 people. You're talking 3-4 million people at a time are getting legalized. And people say, that's the American way. What are you environmentalists saying about destroying the environment by mass migration? How do you have you can't have it both ways. People destroy the environment. It's factual. The demand on the resources by more people destroy the environment. So if you're an animal rights activist or a naturist, you did this. You allowed this by allowing an entire country to come to your borders in 5 years. An entire country. And that money's going back to their home countries. Don't let them josh you. You can go to any place that wire transfers, and there's a line out the door. I would work in Alaska if they offered me a $200,000 a year job. I would be living in a tent in Alaska in bear country. You better believe it. That's what happens when you come from Central South America, Mexico, Zimbabwe, Africa, wherever, or all of the Middle East. You come here to America, drive a truck from India, you live in poor conditions, you come jump in a truck, they say, we'll pay you $80,000 a year to drive a truck 24/7. By golly, they're going to do it. Why? Because they're abject poverty. Wire the money back, It's all a big scam. Cheap labor, wire it back. Those people become rich. If they opened up the Alaskan goldfields and said, find your fortune, young man, we'll pay you $200,000, color me gone. That's exact, and it's not the fault of the immigrant, it's the fault of your politicians. They did this for cheap labor, to mow their lawns, build their buildings, to create things for their wealth, not ours, and to get cheap ass labor and people they can saddle the debt to. You won't get wage. Companies are going to move out, and they can't move out. They got a tariff. The reason why they lowered the tariffs is so they can move out of country and do their thing. It's not immigrants that's making this place great. Immigrants destroy the wage. People are done. America is done. You have the upper 10% own 78% of the wealth, 73%. This is done. It doesn't matter. You're going to have an all-out revolution. There's no way to fix this. Inflation is not going to stop. The only way you can fix this is the American people say, stop bringing in people that will take our jobs and work for less, and then you subsidize constantly. It's got to end. Secondly, as far as corporations go, if they're going to continue to do what they're doing, shut the Federal Reserve down. Shut it down. Close its doors, kick the banksters out once and for all, tell the bank, get JP Morgan, all the rest of them bastards out of it, say we're done, we're done. Then they'll say, oh, the world's going to crash down. Wake up, world, they're going to BRICS. Wake up, the world's going to BRICS. Why are they going to BRICS? Because BRICS is offering equality. It's offering equality for people. You don't need to migrate out of Venezuela because Obama blockaded your country and destroyed your economic futures. Venezuela is a powerhouse. It's Saudi Arabia. They should be walking around in gowns as sheikhs driving Bentleys. Yeah, that's facts. That's not fiction. That's not lies. You want to lie to yourself? You want to tell yourself this? You're working for the globalists. Venezuela is Saudi Arabia of the future. And instead, we got people from Venezuela running up here. I'll go build a house for $12 an hour. Sure as shit you would, because you'll send that back home and your family's going to build a mansion. And it destroys every job as an American job. It's not a Venezuelan job. Venezuela, we should be begging to Venezuela. And in the future, we're going to be like, hey, I know you sheikhs of Venezuela, you got all the gold and all the oil. I know it's heavy crude, but we can process that now. Would you guys give us a loan? That is America against Venezuela. This is all facts. This isn't fiction. Farmers are already default. Yes, they're going to take the farms. They're going to take everything here. If we don't stop these guys now, if we don't stop them, I mean notifying those that are TikTok. 50% of the population has 2% of the wealth. What do you label a Great Depression again? Well, fentanyl. Those people that give up, dead, gone. My dad has pneumonia. I know 4 other people in the hospital right now with pneumonia. Nobody cares. How does that work? People are dropping dead like flies. Suicide's been through the roof everywhere. Everywhere. We're burying our own day in and day out. Day in and day out. Magical viruses that come out of nowhere. Maybe it's a bat, a pangolin, a chicken, maybe some goose. Whatever happened to bird flu? Shit, we forgot. That was so last year, first of the year. The only feasible option is nuclear war. I hope you all understand this. The only way to fix this is nuclear war. Because BRICS is offering a gold-backed currency backed by resources, the majority of the planet that has been used. It's not you or me. It's not us Americans or English or British or even you in Africa. It's not your fault. It's not your fault. It's not what China, Xi Jinping did to China, the Chinese. It's not your fault either. It's not even the Russians that are going and dying for the motherland or the damn Germans going for the fatherland, Deutschland again. It's not our faults. The point is they painted us into a corner. There is no other option. It doesn't matter what the scholars say. Anybody with half a brain says there's no way out of this. We can't fix the economies. We can't fix the fiat currencies. We can't fix this. BRICS is going to give everybody a fair chance. And no way in hell they're going to allow that. And if you think that, you are literally smoking way too much cannabis. Yeah, Canada will give you assisted suicide. Same with Europe. You're depressed. Oh, why are you depressed? We're trying to do what we do to you people. Canada will offer you. They'll offer you here in America. We're dying of freaking magical viruses. You got everybody. It's everywhere. Everybody's sick here. Everybody's sick. And wouldn't you do that before you enact an actual war with these schmucks that they've been raising that got nose rings and purple hair? Before you send those dumb idiots into their own slaughter? Yes, you would get rid of the older generation because you don't want any of them surviving. Why? You don't want the mentally unstable that say, this is bull. This is, dude, you guys, what? You guys lied to us. This whole pandemic has been a lie. You guys stole it. What? You get Osama bin Laden, you threw him off in the ocean. He was in Pakistan. You idiots. I mean, people are waking up. Even the Twin Towers, they're waking up. It's posted on national news. People are starting to smarten up. They're going, wait a minute, I go to the store and I'm broke. I pay my electric bills doubling. Why do you have Enbridge over the gas company after the DAPL protest? What's going on here? And they say, kids are back in school. How long until you're on oxygen? I'm healthy as a... Venezuela, you are Saudi Arabia. You're just too stupid to see it. They're saying it right out. And the rest of the world that's not for BRICS now, we're all fighting against BRICS. Look what happened to Gaddafi when he developed an African dinar that would have brought Africa possibly out of poverty. We came, we saw, he died. Ha ha! Ask RFK Jr. how it works. Hospitals are closing because these hedge funds are going in and buying them up. Yeah, oh no, this is factual. No, venture capitalists. They're these groups that use all of our retirement stuff. They're going in like BlackRock and Vanguard. They're buying up hospitals and then leasing the property of the hospital and then running them into bankruptcy to give their investors maximum profits. They're running out of options. They're running out of ways to make their investors money. And you get what you got now. Chaos World War III style. Now you have one option left in this whole scenario. Everybody across the world stops this. Stops the mass migration. Stops the poverty. The entire world comes together. And instead of protesting ICE in the streets, immigrants actually have jobs that Americans need in Chicago. They need those jobs. You listen all day long. You can interview anybody out there that's not living in a gated community in some safe space up there in Chicago, the ritzy class, they'll tell you the same thing. We're broke. We can't live anymore. We can't afford to live here anymore. They're running out of options. They can't make the rent go up any higher. That means that they're not going to make any more money. Nobody's giving in the corporate end of it because some of the corporations that are actually honest are still trying to pay a living wage and they can't raise it anymore. Why the rich just keep developing and building condos and apartments and buying up the houses. So eventually you end up with George Soros, like he says, you're going to own nothing and like it. He said that, and it's the sorrows of George. So we're worried about this clown, this absolute ass clown named what is his name? Resistance to this guy is a MS-13. He's a clown, and this is a clown show. This isn't what it's about. It's about everybody. It's not about some moron that ran across the border that was a gang member that got deported. He should never have come across the border. He should have been fighting his own country saying, no, we're going to make it right here. We're going to stop all the madness. We're going to stop your value system you have on our country. We're going to shut down our gold. We're going to shut down our resources. We're going to... You playing Venezuela again? Oh, you Gaddafi and us with taking all your oil and giving your people to your... The globalist fear is any country deciding to take care of its people with its resources. Why? Because it's their resource. Prove me wrong. It's their resource, not yours. Oh, no, the investors. They know the globalists. It's their resource. Every country you're in, it doesn't matter. You're all lied to. Everything's a lie. Every leader's a lie. They're all liars. Just like Trump. Blah 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 blah. Biden. Blah 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 blah. Clinton's. Blah blah blah. Obama. Blah 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 blah. They're all doing the same thing. I don't trust any of them. I don't care what leader it is. It doesn't matter what country. Oh, we got a great. No, you don't. They're politicians. They're partisans. They're liars. They're all in it together. Their goal is because they're addicted to money. They're addicted to power. They're addicted to wealth. Wake up, world. So here, FBI director responds to 2 teens arrested in murder of D.C. congressional intern. Well, they're going to be pissed because the kids are black and that guy's an intern, he's white? Well, the black people used to be the black population used to be the most Christian population we had in America. Used to be. Hallelujahs in the street, going to church every Sunday. Man, it was beautiful. And no, then came the culture. Fed chair Jerome Powell blasted as weak jobs report sparks backlash. Stop all the immigration and send them back and find out how fast those jobs reports change. Ah, wait a minute, you opened up 50 million people left and now there's all those jobs and houses and cars and what do we do? Exactly. And go back to your home country and fix it. Fix it. Pave your streets, clean your place up, build nice houses. Go back with what you see in America. Take the part of this and go home with it. And tell your former African countries, no. They got AK-47s. Find out who's bringing the guns in and bomb them. Just like I feel like with the scammers. Scammers on the internet, I got a place for your nukes, Trump. And Vlad, you guys want to fix the place? Nuke the scammers. But realization is here. If you go home, this is my home. I can't go back to Arkansas, Tennessee, and Oklahoma. Well, it's actually Texas, Oklahoma. And I can't go back to Ireland on the other side or England on the other side. Why can't you go back? Because my ancestors are buried here. My mother is buried here. My grandpas, my grandmas, they're all buried here. This is my home. Well, you came as an immigrant. Part of my family was native, kicked out of the East because the rich man wanted to do the same thing they're doing today. The other rest of my family came here for a better part because the rich man was doing what he was doing in Ireland, England, Scotland. And they made the immigrants because we didn't rebel back because of potato famine. They needed warm bodies to do their will upon the American Indian and to conquer and to take using those that they had destroyed, their futures. Here, Jerome Powell, federal fallout, shut the reserve down. Shut it down, the monster Jekyll Island. Trump signed an executive order, it's over. Right? Send back 50 million people or 20 million people still not naturalized state because they can bring their families into. I hope you understand this. They can bring their families into. Those are jobs that are not being created. Those are jobs that are lost. It's time for the world to come back together and say, we know what's happening here. You're destroying our countries with your fake fiat business. And it's not the people. It's not the people. It's not the individual person. It's not the family. It's not the guys on the right or the left. It is them. They, those, theirs, theys, the investors. Wall Street. It's not us. It's not you. I'm saying this for your own good. I'm not telling you. I'm not saying if I had a homeland to go back to and I had to leave this place, everybody's coming here. The deer are disappearing. The lands are closing up. The rich are buying everything up. Everything's being bulldozed. This isn't saving the environment. This is destroying the environment. Believe me, that's what I do for a living. But I'd rather live in a world where we are all equal, like BRICS is saying, where we are all equal. Where we all wake up every day. We don't worry about the end of our lives happening because we tripped one day and we couldn't make our bills. And that is what America is. That's all this is. It's just a race to the end. When you fall, you get sick, you get hurt, and it's over. You don't have a paycheck. 1 week you don't get paid. 2 weeks you don't get paid. You will lose everything. This is no way to live. Every global leader should meet together outside the United States and Europe, like they're doing, and say, BRICS needs to come out and say, this currency, BRICS, is backed by gold and resources. America has plenty of resources, but you're bringing too many people in. They're taking the resources, namely global investors. Open your resources up. Stop the environmental bullshit. Because I watched bulldozing everything, bulldozing it all, and saying save the Icelandic snow owl. The polar bears are falling off the ice sheets out there. We gotta get Al Gore, richest man. Gotta stop all this stuff because it's killing the environment. Sure it is, Al. I could use some of your money to buy the stronghold for the faithful to go to, Al. Much, much better to take a fortune and buy back the land in which the people walk than it is to buy everybody out by saying, you're going to destroy the quail chicken dove thingy. And those wolves are good, and we like bears. That's my dad. Oh, crap. Sorry, everybody. That's my dad. He's in the hospital. We got to wake up before they nuke us, everybody. You've got to wake up before they nuke everybody. Get your mind and soul right, okay? Christ is coming back. He's going to fix all this. But if you sit there on the sidelines and you're like, I love immigration and we need immigrants to mow the lawns for the rich and build their houses and work 20 hours a week and take jobs and cars and houses and apartments and everything else, then you're going to get judged for that. The Lord's going to look at you and say, did you not see the people that died because of your feelings? Did you not see the people that were placed out that couldn't get a job to survive and decided to commit, you know what? Because I know one that just did. His funeral was today at 10 o'clock. Bringing men in by the absolute tens of millions of men, young men, into a country that already has a young man population that 60% of them can't even find someone to marry. We got a fucking problem. 60% of young men cannot find anybody to marry. They brought in 30 million young men. And do you think that throws off the average balance of men to women? Any woman that has any attractive young women can do their fans only now and have millions and millions of dollars thrown at them. Oh, get naked in front of me. How do you expect this place to continue? God's not going to come back and say, oh, you guys are good. You guys are, oh, yeah. I like how you brought in all the fighting age men that marry American women and that puts out the American men. Why does it put the American men out? Because the American man is complaining about the theft of us and everything else we're about and our children and not be able to survive. And the immigrant just comes in and says, hi, my name is Bill. I like you. And the girl goes, he's so dude. Check it out for yourself. I mean, it's factual. It's a competition for reproduction. You can't have too many bulls in a herd, guys. This is actually biology. The balance of females to males in the breeding age, you throw that balance off where there's too many men and not enough women, you're done. It throws the whole scale up. Normally, men die in war, so there's more females than there is men. And the reason why that is because women bear children and men can reproduce. They bring the you know what? It's like a herd of elk or deer. One male, 20 cows. They create children. But when you have too many men, there's a problem. There's a fight for the cows. There's a fight for the does. It's a battle royale. The men lose hope. They can't. The buck or bull can't make it. He's been injured because he's trying to breed to replicate the species. America's the same way. I don't think everybody sees this. There's one girl's got 20 guys chasing her. How do you expect that to happen in a family? How do you expect to hold a family together? Then you got men in big cities that are just reproducing all these children, then going out and finding another woman in rural America and knocking her up and leaving all those children abandoned. Why would he do that? Because if he stays with the family, they starve. That's facts. If he stays with that family of 4 kids that he created with his wife or girlfriend, if he stays there, they can't get subsidized. So he hits the bricks and goes and knocks up somebody else, somewhere else. And he just throws off all of this. And there's all these people on the system, and it's all by design. Parentless, the dad's gone, the mother raises the child, the kid goes into the street. The government becomes the god, the entire generation fails, and all you have is the hood. Then they fight over the scraps in the hood, shooting each other over dope and bling and bitches and hoes. Instead of mothers and daughters, they're bitches and hoes now. What do you think God's going to say? What do you think the Lord's going to say over this? Even believing in this lie perpetuated by the rich. The rich did this. The rich did all of this. Why? Because there's not jobs that are good enough to stay and work for a living and have 4 kids. Immigrants are ready-made. You bring them in, you disable Venezuela, you destroy the Middle East and Central South America through oppression and fiat currency lies. You destabilize all the Middle East. You get Africa so poor they can't even walk in the jungle and shoot something to eat. They have to sit there and beg for food in most of Africa, not some of the richer spots. Why the rich go down there and take their resources under corporations, and you get exactly what you have here. You get exactly what's going on. You got ready-made people all over the world, third world countries, that can come in, and anytime these guys say anything, they flood you with ready-made adult men that are not sick. They're not mentally depraved. They haven't been through the system where there's no hope. They haven't been on every kind of drug known to man to fix their mental stability, because this isn't working. God's going to look at every one of you. The Lord himself's going to look at every one of you that's for these systems, and he's going to say, you actually thought that was right. Denied. Next. Denied. Why? I look at my house. Denied. Next. People still think they're going to go to some happy place after living for and by this system or any other system. You can't support wolves. You can't support bears. You don't support polar bears. These things rip the flesh and the blood in the throats and eat the children of living creatures. And the environmentalist activists love to see the death of children or kits or baby deer or everything else these bastards can eat. They love it. Because inwardly, they're all ravenous wolves working for Satan. Literally working for Satan. And the same thing with the rest is immigration rights, immigrant rights, when their own people can't afford to eat. Can't even get a roof over their heads. It's all the great dispute. What do you think God's going to say to you? Well, we did all that. Now there's... They decide to flood another 100 million people in, and now there's not enough resources for everybody, and people are starving because they just kept cutting down the resource, the food, making it smaller, making it less, jobs paid less, apartments prices went up, power went up, because they just brought in new people, subsidized by the government, by the states, counties will do it, federals. And then eventually nothing's left but poverty for everybody. The environment's ruined. You doubled Salt Lake City. You doubled Arizona. You doubled Phoenix. You built millions. There's entire areas that are just massive subdivisions. It was once free, beautiful land that was traded off by your representatives. Gotta get that land from the federal government. That's the people's land. It's held in public trust. It's not the government's land. They're only managing it. I just listened to this clown talk about this yesterday. Trump's got to do one of the two things in order to fix the housing crisis. He's got to open up more federal lands, federally owned lands. It's like, okay, so you're going to do it on Zion National Park, or are we going to go up there to the Grand Tetons and open that up? Because that's federal land. You can open up a wilderness area for affordable housing. Yeah, we brought all these people in, most of them are immigrants, and we built a bunch of houses in Yellowstone. That's federal land. BLM and Forest Service is owned by the people of the United States. So what's Trump going to do? He's a real estate mogul. Blow the shit out of Venezuela. Why? Because all that oil, all that gold, just knock them bastards out. They're tortured them to take that. Meanwhile, Russia's saying long-range weapons are going to be the red line. Sure it was, Russia. You're liars. Zelensky's like, I'm not going to peace. Oh, yeah, because of your constitution, you absolute dictatorist moron. You signed a damn document. Your constitution won't allow you to meet Putin, you idiot. And the idiots in Trump administration all the war. Oh, we're the War Department now. Zelensky cannot meet with Vlad or treaty with Vlad because it's in their constitution that he changed. We're going to change the constitution. No more Christians, no more Orthodox Church in Ukraine because we're the best country in the world. We're not. And Americans are like, give them some more money. Europeans got to help you. They're just going to arrest you for saying anything against the system. Literally, they'll arrest you. You'll be, what am I getting arrested for? You said that Ukraine wasn't God. Oh. You said that Ukraine wasn't the ultimate thing that we have to win the war. You said handing off the war to the Europeans now because America's been fighting it. What do you think Russia would do, the real Russia would do, if Americans were actively killing Russians by the millions? What do you think we said in Afghanistan? This is a history question. What did they say in Afghanistan when they thought the Russians were involved in the with the Taliban? We killed a bunch of them. We threatened Russia. Don't you get involved. The U.S. has targeted and killed maybe 200,000 Russians, responsible for killing many, many more with the systems, including Europe. That's America and Europe killing those Russians. And the Russians got their fingers, their thumbs so far up their butts. They got to get it up there to spin. And the rest of America's going, it's fine. It's good. Russian aggression. Russians are like, it's a red line here. There's a red line here. I won't send in F-16s because that will mean the end of the world. That was 2 years ago, 3 years ago. Anybody say it's not the end of the world? Hey, tell your boss he sucks for me, okay? He's a succubus. Your lords. Because there is no end game here. There's no easy fix for this. The Democrats are criminals. The Republicans are criminals. The CEOs, corporations, major global corporations are criminals. They're the ones that rob people in the street, addicted to theft. They just use the law to do it. And by the way, all your power's going up because your venture capitalists, your hedge funds are going in buying up your power companies. Oh yeah, no, serious. And they're buying your insurance companies. Oh yeah, no, they're buying them up. They're running the insurance companies. And what are they after? Maximum profit. Prices are not going to stop. Truthfully. I don't know what's going on here. The chat stops. Yep, see it all stop. Yeah. No, I've come across federal lands that they're riddled with cannabis. I was told to leave the area. September, same time, hunting doves. I was told by the enforcement to say leave the area. Yeah. It's been a decade. Okay. Yeah, I gotta get going. In California, in the back of the marine, there is a place called Point Reyes. It's federally managed land, and yeah, because the feds were in on the same thing happened exactly. The reason why that happened is you go back to the Opium Triangle, Vietnam, Cambodia, Kampuchea. You understand that's where the opium's coming from prior. Okay, That's what that war was about. It was about the opium trade. Afghanistan's where all the poppy fields were. That was we had the Oxycontin epidemic that slaughtered and genocided out entire populations in America on purpose because you flag waving American, NASCAR loving pretty girls, yeah, and handsome men. They had to wipe you out, Appalachia. They had to wipe out Montana meth and heroin. They had to go destroy parts of Utah. They had to wipe out all of California, get them all on drugs. And God, yeah, and here's Oxycontins. They're not addictive. Yeah. See, they did this, but we were in Afghanistan protecting those fields. Protecting those fields. That's factual. That is not fiction. That is not conspiracy. Afghanistan was the opium triangle of the world, and we ended up there. Nice job, Osama bin Laden, thrown off in the ocean that was actually in Pakistan on dialysis and wasn't in Afghanistan. Yep. So yeah, Mexico, they've been doing this for a long time. Want to stand like a nation? Yeah. Well, and the UK can support itself, but there is no UK. It's United Kingdom's. It's a lie. It's a facade. It's a scam. It's a sham. It's about it, the UK and everybody else is. They're just cannon fodder. They're just cannon fodder. It doesn't matter anymore. The world has to come together. This is over. Everybody that thinks they're going to flag wave an American fund, any man will send his only begotten son to die for democracy. I did it. My dad, my uncles, aunts. I've been looking up through all sergeants in every army there was. And we also fought against the British for the Americans, by the way. And against the Osage and against the Red Stick Creeks. Yeah. And then fought the Mexicans, fought the Texans, and fought ourselves. And still joined the military, every one of them. After. Became American soldiers. There isn't a great country on earth because the countries don't exist anymore. I know nothing about the UK. You guys in the UK. There's a big pile of shit sitting there that's just a big shit sandwich. You don't have rights. You have no rights. The majority, most of your population vacated the premises into America. Yeah, called the church the lies and the lords and the kings. United Kingdom, you call it. What did you do to the Irish and the Scottish? The Lord. Lot about the UK. The UK's actually caused more damage across the entire planet for hundreds of years. You're almost as bad as the Spanish. What do I not know about the UK? Make the world England, sir. You don't know about UK. You don't know about what they've done. Apparently you haven't paid attention to what the United Kingdom was about. Remember Dresden? Good job there. Nothing like melting people to the cement. They were Christians. And the war was over. But we got to get in there. We've got to make sure the Germans win. Don't lose, I mean. What a grand place. My ancestry comes from that shithole. Make the world England, sir. Yes, I'm English too. And Irish and Scottish. Wales. Yes. That is the UK. It enslaved the world for its riches. We bested the bastards on the battlefield, but we lost in the banking systems. I think about Diana. Such a great place. Yes. Your banks still try to run this place. Nice thing on the gold prices, though. I'm really liking your United Kingdom and your Bank of England and all the control over the gold. You guys are doing good this time. You're allowing it to go up a little bit. Know nothing of the UK. Yes. The world's sick of the big flabby ass jowled the English. But it isn't England anymore now, is it? Your cities ain't English. Ethnically. You've lost. The world knows about the UK. The world's sick of the UK. The world's tired of the UK. And especially England. Sick I tell you, sick. Your population fled 1600s, left. The remnants you came from, remnants. Because why? Because the Lords owned it all. Yes. You guys had a plan to divide the Americas up into little kingdoms for your bastard lords. Nothing like prima nocte, right? I shall consummate this marriage by taking the bride into my bedroom. That was a good one. I like that. Got more to say about that UK, United Kingdom? I just call it Satan's den. Europe, you're on the brink of absolute abject poverty. You ain't even got the gas to heat your homes. And if it gets bad, you're done. You will freeze in the streets. Your population will be dying from frostbite. Nice how the weather stayed good for the Ukrainian war. But now the Americans are going to come to the rescue with LNG. Yes, LNG. Yes, they're going to. Yes, could you call Rutherford and get some liquefied natural gas? Bring it to me now. I get you, Deb. It's lightning and thundering out there. They're going to double the price of natural gas, and it's all going to be your faults. How's that sound? They're going to double the price of natural gas in America because of Russian oil, Russian gas, and they want it for themselves. Who does? Who is it? Oh, the gas companies. Oh, why have we been blocking Venezuela? Oh, the fossil fuel guys. Why are we war in the Middle East? We left Syria alone, but we kept the Marines there to guard the oil fields. Trump, good job on that one. It's about liberation and a democracy. Yes, democracy. Funny thing is, my ancestors fought for you guys at times, and I don't get why. Wake up, Europe. Wake up. You raped this place. You raped your own people. Fled Europe because of the lords. They fled. America's full of them white old stock bastards. You want to know why? Because of you and your governments. Now isn't it time, before you guys freeze to death in Europe, before you have no more gas, this place crumbles, you guys are done for. Russia ain't going to give you the gas anymore. They're going to cut you all off. You're going to be burning your furniture. Like Russia showed in the very beginning of this war, they threatened Europe and said, we cut this off and you will all die. You'll freeze to death. You get one World War II, what was that? What was that place? Bastogne. Germans and Americans, if you get like it was in Bastogne, that day of that fight, that months of the fights in Bastogne, you are going to freeze to death. If America gets an extra cold winter, and the bastards that have already sealed the deal, cutting off energy to you, if America cuts it off and we go into revolution, again, 2.0, you guys are going to freeze to death. Russia is going to let you freeze to death. Oh no, our gas reserves. You don't bring in enough. They're cutting it all off. Do you remember the 12th century? There's not enough fuel for you. And people say, all it takes a couple drones and that shit's gone. Everything you guys rely on, Russia hits you in November, it drops down below zero. They hit your natural gas, they hit your energy systems, you guys are froze to death. Then there ain't nobody coming for you. There ain't nobody gonna come, because all the Russians got to do, or the Chinese got to do, is take out all the ships that go across, and we're back into World War II again. And then the United States says, hey, we're gonna sell you guys weapons and natural gas while you get your asses destroyed. By this time, the Chinese and the Russians, why Trump runs backwards and says, this is yours, I'm a real estate man. This is all your war. You guys did this. He's already handed it to you. You're going to take the weapons and throw them into Ukraine. He's making you guys put the weapons in there, and the weapons are pointed at you. And all Russia's got to do is take out your infrastructure. Russia doesn't do anything. Well, England and France has nuclear weapons. You use them and you'll be burned to a crisp. There'll not even be another place left. They'll hit you with the Resnick missiles. You won't even know if you're foot or horseback within 35 seconds. They'll take Resnicks and they'll wipe out everything that you have for infrastructure. You guys will be in the dark praying for unconditional surrender so you don't freeze to death this December. Now that is factual. If you think America is going to pump all the natural gas to you guys and save the day, you're absolutely mistaken. Once you're at war, because you're now giving the weapons to Zelensky, once you're at war, Trump's going to suck the blood out of you. Why? Because you take August off. You work 36 hours a week. That's unheard of here. You can't do that in America. You'll either belly up to the bar with 60 hours and 2 jobs, or you're done for. People, I got to see what the comments are. I mean, think about this. Think about this for a minute. They got you right where they want you. Trump's got you right where he wants you. The globalists got you right. They've been flooding you with millions of immigrants just for fun because you're not reproducing. This war right here, if this kicks off, which it should kick off any minute now, your days of having anything as far as England, yeah, so let's see, walk down England and where's the English? There's no more English in England. Well, this is banned. You can't even watch this in England. You'll get arrested. You'll get arrested. Why? Because when you fought the Germans last time, your ancestors went, we're going to go in there and fight with Poland. We're going to fight though. Yes, we must succeed. We must go. Okay, jackass. You guys were bombed. The Luftwaffe blew the hell out of you. You lost all those beautiful British men. At least this time they didn't have to immigrate to America, right? Because there's nothing in England, Ireland, or Scotland. There's no room for advancements. No, you can't go designate an area now, make the English have children. They're not having children. Neither the Scots or the Brits are not having children. Or the Scots or the Irish. They're not having enough children to reproduce themselves. They know this. Trump is leaving you. Right? Trump is offering you up for what Biden did. Right? Your guys in charge are absolutely saying, we're ready for war. The French are telling the other almost Frenchmen, get ready for triage. There should be protests in the streets all over Europe saying, get us the hell out of this war. Do you realize what you have to do to Russia to get them to turn the gas back on now? They could shut everything down. They could take out your infrastructure in Poland, and Poland will be a popsicle. And they won't make it through if you make it till December. America's way over here. America's way over here. Europe, what are you doing? England, what are you doing, bros? Well, we got nukes too. You ain't even going to get those bastards off the ground. They're going to blow up in their silos, and you guys will be nuked on top of Resnick. He told you guys he had hypersonic missiles. He told you he could knock you out forever. Who? Whatever Vlad is. He already said we can have you guys gone in 5 minutes. Europe will be gone. There'll be nothing left. You'll be begging for surrenders in mass droves just for heat. Why America sits here and Venezuela's your ass. Wake up, Europe. Make peace with Zelensky, idiot, whatever he is, Polish guy. Wing Wang playing piano wearing high heels. Make peace now. Make peace. Russia doesn't allow YouTube, but it's good to see it there. You federal guys, you guys from Israel, you better listen to that. The Europeans need to make now, today. Zelensky is a potato and a dick called a dictator. Make peace now with Russia immediately, or you're going to freeze to death when they stop manipulating the weather. Nothing like having warm climates to fight a war so the Russians couldn't win on the battlefield of World War III. The Russians know you're all involved. The Russians know America spearheaded this and killed millions of Russians, maybe 1 million. China, and they're fighting for the best side is what they do. When they unleash, like North Korea did, the only one that hasn't sent soldiers in to wipe your asses out is China. And China fights for whoever's going to win best, most profit they make. And the writing's on the wall. The writing's on the wall. BRICS. BRICS has the population. Remember when Obama told the Africans couldn't have air conditioning because they'll cause global warming? I do. You Africans can't have air conditioning because you'll destroy the planet. Well, guess what, world? The Africans are going to have air conditioning. Guess what, world? The third world countries, India is going to have air conditioning, and they're going to have cities, and they're going to come out of the slums, and they're going to pull their people out. They might even migrate into Siberia and make an entirely new country. Vlad may open up the whole place and say, come settle this place. Let's build together. Why? Because the Americans and the Brits are out of the way, and the Germans. The old world is dead. Well, you're anti-American. It's America Incorporated now. If you haven't paid attention long enough to walk in your gas station, grocery store, or just pay your bills, maybe you should stop smoking the reefer. Because it's real, yeah, your brain is, you're gone. You're like Beavis and Butthead, Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure, why the world's crashing down around you. Britain, make peace now, because we know that you were the second in charge of this war with Russia. They know it too. Like I said, Vlad goes out a window, even the peace option's off the table. Dmitry, and I do my research, he will blow us all off the face of the earth. He will. Too many Russian boys come home dead. You can't bury that and salve that wound. This wound's going to be open for decades now, generations. Make peace now, Europe. Now. I mean, why your day is rising, your sun is rising now. Get your leaders to surrender the war and say, we're sorry. Open up the gas pipelines and tell the Americans to go do this. It's not America. It's the shell companies. Turn the gas back on. Cut off all funding to Zelensky. All of his weapons. Shut him down. He'll blow up. If you get gas from Russia, he's going to strike the infrastructure. Why? Because he works for the men who paid him. Or you're going to freeze. You're going to freeze. The Americans, you can't trust the United States. They wait till the last minute. They'll come in and bomb the hell out of everybody. That's what they do. And I'm an American too. That's my ancestors fought in these wars. We wait till you idiots are so busy, so done beating your idiot selves up. Because our founding fathers said to never get involved in foreign wars, especially Europe. We're not even supposed to get involved. Our founding fathers told us as Americans to not go to you ever. Why? Because you keep doing the same stuff over and over again. Instigated by the globalists. It's not surrender if you make peace, Europe. It's not surrender. But you got a lot of Russians and North Koreans now and others throughout the Baltic states that may rise at any time and do what Vladimir Putin has not done. Why? You killed their people. You killed their soldiers. I don't know what the value of life is anymore in this place. I guess it's meaningless. You killed by a million of their children, their men. And now all there is defeat for Russia, or else this ends, everybody. And that's because the Europeans and Americans will not come to the conclusion. China's there. They got 1 billion plus people on their side. They got the BRICS nations on their sides. They could flood this country and every other country with a mass amount of people you could never count. You can't count the Chinese. Xi Jinping let them get into their 30s now, possibly 40, but he'll enlist every one of those. He'll enlist all the 40-year-olds. India will enlist all their bums and drags in their cities, all them young men, but countless in India. They'll enlist all them. There isn't enough bombs except for nuclear to stop BRICS. India is a part of BRICS. They could form in a matter by next December, just coming up in a few months. You could see more millions and million men armies that you could never. Doesn't matter if you gave them pitchforks. There's not enough Americans or British or Germans or anybody else, French, to even hold back the tide of 7 billion people. You can't. You can't. And when the world is 7-1 or 9-1, which is the Western world, 1 against 9, I ought to get in there. We're gonna show those Iraqis and Afghans. You killed a lot of those guys, but you know what? There's a whole bunch of other people out there that now have given up on your system, and they're forming their own system. So that they get in a fist fight with you, you better be Bruce Lee. America and Europe, you better be NATO, you better be Bruce Lee. No shit. You should be Walker, Texas Ranger. You know, you're not going to be able to win. The math doesn't math. Make peace now. Make peace. Let's build a better world. Let's make a kingdom, everybody. Let's make a kingdom. Let's make a place where nobody's better than anybody else. That's communism. Those men are dead. Old, fat, dead guys, stinky, smelly, nursing home dead people that made these systems and called it capitalism. Shut the Federal Reserve down, jackasses. We'll find out what capitalism really is. Make peace now. Bury the dead. Or the dead will bury you. Nothing like when a bunch of dead people that lost their loved ones get together when they have more power and manpower than you do, and they send their 9 brothers to beat your ass. And you're over there, whoa, yo, homeboy, I'll take him. Get out there. I'm coming out. Yo, dope. You want some of this, huh? Want some of this, homie? What are you, epilepsy? We're here to kick your ass. Yeah, we're probably gonna curb stomp you after. You want this, bro? What's up? What's up? Well, yeah, no, we're gonna curb stomp you because you killed our brother. That's where we are. That's where you are, Europe. That's where we are, Canada. Let's make this peace. Let's make this peace. Quickly. Today. You wait overnight, every 24 hours, there's a chance of full-scale nuclear Armageddon happening. Every minute that we are sitting here right now, there's a chance that they push the buttons. Remember, zombie killer? Ozzy Osbourne just died. Zombie killer. If we don't believe in war, then what's the weapons for? Somebody's going to push that button. Somebody's going to push that button. Hackers could get in there and make NORAD think that there's Soviet Russian missiles in flight, and all of this ends. If one hacker breaks into the system, just like a want to play a game, we're at the point now, the missiles go up, they're not coming back. And everything you ever known is gone, except for God and the Lord. But all the world that you believed in is over. There, you have 30 minutes. Europe, you'll have 5 minutes to count down. You'll have 5 minutes. Look what happened when they had a false attack in Hawaii. They thought they had inbound North Korean missiles. North Korea can launch their missiles, and Russia will back them along with China, and it's the end of everything. Yeah, but no, Rodney, I guess I had a little momentary lapse of reason. I really got a lot of stuff going on out west. I got my grandkids I want to see a little bit longer. I think that we can hold this off a little bit. Maybe just a few days, months, maybe, let's make it till December, This all can come. It's all going to happen either way. I mean, I sat there and said, when they met, I said, there's no peace. And then the commenter, I said, then it's war. And I just bid them well. I said, use this and you're going to get war then. And it never happened. Yeah, I think I want to see what happens. My ex-girlfriend that drowned, her sister came and told me or called me at the story. Now I understand what happened. It settles a little bit with me. I'm going to go hunt a deer tonight. I don't know why we're still holding on. I really don't. But other than the fact that maybe, Rodney, I watched this guy. I just maybe there's a few more that will come to the Lord and say, hey, you know what, I'm with you. All right, I'm walking with you. Let's say, oh, okay, good. Well, welcome to I am. And then they'll get on board, and that's the ones we need. And then God will just say it's done now. It's already been foretold. We got to kind of fix it, and that's cool, I guess. One day I want it to end and just let's bring the kingdom, and the next day I'm like, well, what if, like Karen says, what if my family isn't saved? What if they decided to turn from God, and they're not going to be there? And maybe that's a little bit of time we need to get the rest of them together, especially you guys in England that are like, oh, you know nothing about Europe. The world knows about Europe, and you guys are done for. You needed to really change your attitude, especially you, Germany. Nice job. Anyway, maybe it is red, Deb. Well, you think that red right now? Why don't you go look at Three Eye Atlas? It's red. So, let's do this, people. Let's do this. Shall we? Let's be Christ-like. Shall we be Christ-like? Let's all be Christ-like now. And think about our Lord and say, I'm with you. The children of God, you peacemakers, make peace now. The devil comes to collect his due, and you're all going to get a bill. And you have to pay that bill while you're still sucking air. The devil doesn't take credit. He doesn't take bankruptcies. He knows the perfect time. He does. He does, Flower. But if we made the bombs, we don't believe in war, what are we fighting for? Someone push the button, just like, believe me, I have giants. I have cannibal giants. You want to see my page under cannibal giants? It's not killer of giants, but Ozzy just died. And I was the number, I was six, I was in the top 1% of Ozzy Osbourne listeners in the frickin' on YouTube and all that. Hey, he warned us. Killer of giants. The guy that's the killer of giants is the one that's going to be the one that's going to torment mankind till the very end. I got cannibal giants. How many people that's got any kind of YouTube page or Facebook page or .com of giants? Yeah. Bless you, Karen. Let's get this done. Let's do this. Let's get this done. You're up. We're counting on you. Don't do this to your people. Don't do this. Don't. The Lord's going to judge you. And this is all meaningless if you are judged wrong. All you were about was meaningless. It meant nothing. Get with the Lord. Stop this war now. Stop this. And this is about your souls being judged too. That's one thing too you guys got to realize. This is about the judgment of them. Okay? This is about them being judged. They got time. They got time. Right to the end. I'll see you next time. I'll say judgment, absolutely, positively, most. Yep. They have time. How many more of you Europeans, you're out there peeing, zip it back up, get with the Lord. Do it. Just do it. My Uncle Henry put the guy to death that made that logo in Utah, child killer. That Nike said they said they were going to shoot him. You look it up. In Utah, and he said, just do it. And the Nike logo guy took that logo of a murder of children. Killer of giants. Did I kill a giant? I'm not a great guy when it comes to revenge. I will say that. And humans got to start getting this straight. I've already been dead. I've been there. It's a great place to die, but make sure it's at the right time and don't end your life, please. There's a place underneath this place where you go. I fell through the floor during my surgery. There is a waiting room. And it's not Beetlejuice. Don't go there. Don't kill yourself. Okay? To the very end, everybody. You three musketeers. To the end. We shall stay. Yes, yes. Now stay with me. I'll stay with you. We'll have a blast. Thanks for watching.